this funk. Thoughts deep, boys steeped in the depths that he sunk. Big stress, depressed in the middle of fall. Sky gray, high late in the thick of it all. I wonder, how long can a human survive just staying alive or carrying the rest of the tribe? Waiting for the day to arrive or struggling dies, and I be doing way, way more than getting by. So why? Cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Realize life is so much more than just living a day. Every day I can sit and reflect and breathe and connect to myself and all that I've been given. See, giving up is not an option. So when I'm looking at gray skies, I'll be adopting a new way to deal with a test. Lord, relieve me of stress. The ring be looking like when blessings drop in. And so I got myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, here we go. Yeah. Let's do this. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. In times of test, let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. In times of test, let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Woo.
Warning, the following image and/or content may be disturbing, offensive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Let's go, y'all. It's Wednesday. It is Wednesday, y'all. Let's go. Yeah. Salute. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Salute. Welcome. Welcome to the lounge. Thank you. Welcome to the lounge. I'm Urban. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this podcast episode. Yes. Appreciate you. It's Wednesday, y'all. Y'all know what that means. Tomorrow is Thursday. And you know what Thursday is? Thursday is a very, very important day. Thursday is a very important day, y'all. Thursday is Scorpio birthday celebration. Let's get it. It is Scorpio birthday celebration, y'all. Let's get it. I am looking forward to that, and I am honored and privileged to go ahead and DJ for Scorpio on her birthday, man, where she celebrate another year of living here on this rock. So appreciate Scorpio for allowing me the opportunity to DJ for her once again on her birthday on Halloween, and we're going to have a great time tomorrow. So make sure you have your notifications set for that live. That live will be happening roughly around about 9:30, 10 o'clock-ish, somewhere around there. So it's going to happen. All right, so make sure you get your notifications set. We're going to have a great time celebrating. Scorpio say, Urban, did you see my food? Yes, I seen your food, and it was scrum-dilly-umptious. I wish I could have got some of that food. Yeah, I wish I could. But speaking of which, let me go ahead and acknowledge everyone in the chat right now. We do have Scorpio Mama in the building. We're one day away from her birthday celebration. Appreciate that. Yes. We got Miss Joyce in the building as well, too. Salute, Miss Joyce. And we got Katie in the building as well, too. Salute. Hey, Katie, I got to apologize to you. I got to apologize to you for real, man, because I've been missing your live streams. I've been missing. Y'all been missing your live streams, but I've been catching the replays on there like every single time. I think I have an opportunity to watch them when you go live. I either be busy doing something, extremely busy, or something come on one or the other. But Katie over there is doing phenomenal work covering the whole Wiley situation. Y'all need to sub up to her channel for real. Y'all really do. If you ain't sub up to her channel, you need to sub up for real, because she is doing phenomenal work covering that for real. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate Katie a whole lot. And once again, man, I apologize for not catching your live streams like how the way I used to. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, your boy, I always busy doing something. You know what I'm saying? I am always extremely busy. If it ain't with YouTube, it's with my own personal life. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But yes. Appreciate that. We got my boy Speak in the building. Salute. Salute, bro. Salute. And welcome. We got another phenomenal show tonight, y'all. And to be honest with y'all, this is not going to be a long live at all. It is not. Because I know that, you know, y'all been tuning into my shows for the past, 3 days or so, that y'all saying, you know, Urban, maybe we need a break from you. I hear you. I know you need a break from Urban, especially me covering all this political stuff lately. I hear it. I hear it in y'all spirit. Y'all saying, Urban, if you don't cut the bullshit with all this political stuff and give us a break on this, can we get a damn Pop the Balloon video again? Fine. We're going to get a Pop the Balloon video again, all right? Which is not going to be Thursday. It's going to be Friday, all right? So your boy got you. I got you. I hear y'all. But I have to cover this right, because this is trending right now. And plus, the election is just, days away now, you know what I'm saying? So some of y'all may have already have voted. Some of y'all were thinking about voting. Some of y'all might not going to vote at all, but many of y'all not knowing what's going on in the political area. So that's why I've been talking about it a lot lately. I've been talking a lot about Kamala Harris. I barely talk about Trump as much because, to be honest with you, Trump really haven't been doing nothing other than what I expect for Trump to do. You know what I'm saying? But Kamala, she been running a goddamn muck. Her and that team, they been running wild. They be doing some wild stuff for real, you know what I'm saying? And tonight episode is gonna be no different at all, man. We're gonna do a reaction video. Those of y'all who wasn't familiar with this, last night, BT had hosted the Black Men Summit, okay? They call it the Black Men Summit. And the host of the summit was D.L. Hughley. After when I got to doing my my podcast last night, this came up on my notification on YouTube. Hey, Urban, watch this bullshit. I'm like, okay, let me watch it. So I watched it, and I watched it, and I watched it. And I was like,
Beta!
So we're going to react to it tonight. We're going to react to it tonight. Make sure y'all get them, I'm sorry, not notifications, but make sure you get them thumbs up. It helps the channel out a whole lot. Appreciate y'all. So without further ado, we're just going to jump into this content. I don't want to hold y'all very long tonight, man, because, man, this crap here, Let's get into it, y'all. Once again, this is the BET Black Men Summit. It's a panel full of beta males up here.
Beta!
Including D.L. Hughley. Now, I cut out portions of this particular summit because it lasted about an hour, so I cut out some and I added some in, you know, whatever, right? So we're going to only view the key details of this particular summit, all right? So without further ado, let's hear what these fools got to say, all right?
President Barack Obama, he called us all out. He said that some black men aren't feeling having a woman president. Let's roll the clip and we will discuss it on the other side.
And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that.
Now, before they go, y'all already know that I already did a reaction video of Barack Obama's little speech towards some black men where he tried to be that uncle and try to chastise black men. And y'all already know how I feel about that bullshit.
That's bullshit.
But just to give you a timeline, right? There were other comedians that was doing this as well too, or other celebrities. Ricky Smiley said some things about black men. What's the other dude? The big lip dude, Steve Harvey. He said some stuff about black men, and it just kept going on and on. Then eventually, Obama said something about black men. And it just kept going on and on. Then now Michelle Obama said something about black men. And now we got black men saying things about black men in the summit. So as you can see on this panel, we got D.L. Hughley right here. We got Ben Crumpton. I talked about him before last night. We got what's his dude name? Damn, I forgot this dude name. He's an actor. But we got him as well too. And we got this other dude right here. He is a congressman for Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. So we got these four betas up here who is getting ready to tell us they spill on about sexism and also about men not want to vote for Kamala. So let's go ahead, betas.
Beta!
Okay, we are here now with Tennessee State Representative Justin J. Pearson, Ben Crump, and Michael Ealy. So,
Michael Ealy, my bad.
Okay. As a nation, we've never had a female leader, never. Right. So there is an unspoken idea that a lot of people have, whether they say it out loud or not. So what was your impression?
Look, I love...
Why the hell the video froze right there? I have no earthly idea. That's crazy. That's crazy. I have no idea why I did that. Let's see if it'll correct itself. Give me 1 second.
President Obama. And I think we got to be honest in our own community about.
Let me try to fix it one more time, y'all. Lord Jesus. There we go. We're live. We lit. Let's get it.
The reality of sexism and the role that patriarchy plays in our own community. Sure. I go to churches a lot, and there are people who will greet me and not greet my fiance, who's standing right next to me. So like, there's a real.
Let's start off with this. He said that a lot of men will greet him, but will not greet his fiance. Since when do men are required to greet another man's woman? Make that make sense to me. Make that make sense to me. Like when I'm out with Mrs. Urban, right? I don't have a requirement for everybody to acknowledge Mrs. Urban, even though I say, hey, how you doing today? And if they don't know who my wife is, then I will introduce her. Like, hey, this is my wife, Mrs. Urban. Now, it is totally their choice whether or not they want to be introduced to my wife or not. That's totally up to them. But I'm not going to make it a requirement for them to say something to my wife. Oh, you're not going to say nothing to my wife? What's wrong with you? Like, the hell kind of bullshit beta stuff is that? That's weird. But let's rewind it back and let's continue.
They say it out loud or not. So what was your impression?
Look, I love President Obama. And I think we got to be honest in our own community about the reality of sexism and the role that patriarchy plays in our own community. Sure. I go to churches a lot, and there are people who will greet me and not greet my fiance, who's standing right next to me. So like, there's a real conversation we need to have about what is going on inside of our communities and what we can do to make sure that we unlearn some of the behaviors that are really negative, right, and that are really harmful. What is also really important is that we do understand the facts. An overwhelming majority of black men are voting for Vice President Kamala Harris to be President of the United States. Right? 80% of us.
That is some bullshit.
That's bullshit.
I don't know what numbers and what poll he done read, but that is absolutely some bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Nope.
So, you know, the truth is, you got.
Oh, and another thing too, if that number is true, right? If that number is factual, then why in the hell are they having this Black Man Summit? Following after what Michelle Obama said about black men being misogynistic. If that was true, Michelle Obama wouldn't even have to do that speech saying that black men are being misogynistic. If that was true, Barack Obama wouldn't even have to do his speech saying that black men are misogynistic. So what is this dude talking about?
That one uncle that you need to talk to. Right. Yeah. But the majority of us, we good. Right. Like we on the same page. But there is some work that we are going to have to do as a community to figure out what are the qualms, what are the issues, what are the problems that 20% or so of black folks who a few years ago were voting Democratic and all that are having. And I will say this about Donald. In our country, our socialization has taught us to praise people with a lot of money. Yeah. Right. Our socialization has taught us to praise people who are famous. Right. Our socialization has taught us to praise people who can get a lot of women and can say what they want and do what they want and have said, hey, that's the image of a real man. That's the image of a strong person. That's the image of a real leader who can just fire people at will. Now he's running for president. And a lot of people are like, wait, no, that's not it. Right.
Black. So what is?
Wait a minute. Hold up. This dude tried to use the analogy. He tried to use the analogy of a person who's popular, a person who's a celebrity, right? And due to them being a celebrity, it becomes a social norm for us as normal people to mimic that type of behavior, to want that certain type of thing, right? And he tried to use that as a talking point to reference Donald Trump. We could say the same thing about these gentlemen right here. Every last one of these gentlemen up here are pretty much considered as celebrities. People know who they are, respectively. So we could argue and say the same exact thing about them, that people are looking up to them. People are using social norms about them as well too, to dress a certain type of way and everything. Right? And one last thing too, and this kind of annoys me when men do this, right? But this dude right here, whenever I see a man sitting up here crossing his leg like this, that is some weird, sassy stuff for real. Not only that's sassy as hell, but that is beta as hell too.
Beta!
I'm just saying. But let's continue. Oh, and I haven't decided yet. Katie.
What is it that's really, just speak on it.
Now, Ben, we can't have a convo about sexism or any other kind of ism without talking about the way some black men see the LGBTQ plus community.
Bro, look at them. Both of them are crossing their legs the same exact way. What the hell? Let me rewind it back, because Dale Hughley feels really go on this rant talking about the LGBT community real quick, y'all. And I want y'all to hear this craziness about the LGBTQ community.
And do what they want and have said, hey, that's an image of a real man. That's the image of a strong person. That's the image of a real leader who can just fire people at will. Now he running for president. And a lot of people are like, wait, no, that's not it.
Black, so what is it? What is it that's really, just speak on it.
Now, Ben, we can't have a convo about sexism or any other kind of ism without talking about the way some black men see the LGBTQ plus community. They see it as getting more attention than some of the concerns of black constantly. So, Ben, what do you think? I mean, it's not like I'm,
Yeah, well,
speaking out of school.
Everything has to be taken in context. When you think about civil rights, we must remember that if they can discriminate against them, then it makes it easier to discriminate against us.
We got black queer folks in our community, in our families. And so whenever I live in Tennessee, we have passed more laws against LGBTQIA plus folks than anybody else in the union. And I continue to remind folks, if you open the door of oppression a little bit for somebody you think is different or other or an enemy of yours, the person you opening it with will open it a little bit wider to push you in.
So let me get this straight. In order to preserve the foundations of the black community, right, or the black community, right, we have to go through this notion of go along to get along. Is that correct? We have to go through this whole notion of shut up and drool. Is that correct? We have to go through this whole notion of afraid of enemy, or my enemy is now my friend type thing, right? Is that pretty much what they're saying? Because one of the main talking points of the black community being talking about the LGBTQ community, not because of them being citizens or having their rights, but because their rights was prioritized more than black people. Remember the whole Black Lives Matter situation where we was dealing with police brutality and all this stuff there, and the LGBTQ community just kind of wiggled their way into that because the owners was part of the LGBTQ community. Y'all remember that? And then they started focusing more on the LGBTQ community than the actual black community. That's the reason why people was talking about it. But now these betas up here say, oh, we never had a problem with the LGBTQ community. We never did, you know what I'm saying? Because shoot, if they discriminate on the LGBTQ community, then what's say that's going to stop them for discriminating on us as well too. So we all just need to get along and come together. Come on now, really? Really?
And when we think about our community and black folk, we all in this together.
Right. Yeah. Right. You know, what's interesting, we have to understand that our concerns, you know, where we gather at this place is different. At one point, it was illegal for slaves to learn. Now they want to make it illegal to learn about slaves. First, black people couldn't go to the bathroom, then gay people can't go to the bathroom, now transgender people. What do white people keep it in the bathroom?
Lord. They're not making it illegal to learn about slavery. Once again, they're not making it illegal to want to learn about slavery. What they're doing is that they're not trying to make it a priority for you to learn about the history of slavery, just like they're not trying to make it a priority to learn about the history of this country. Okay? That's pretty much what they're saying. Anybody could pick up a book and learn about the history of slavery. It is not going nowhere. It's not going to skip over generations or nothing like that. It's not going nowhere, period. A matter of fact, colleges and schools is still teaching about slavery, but it is not a requirement of a particular course unless you're going for a certain type of degree, like, say, for example, sociology, the type of degree that I went for, which is sociology, where you have to learn about culture. Within a culture, you have to learn about slavery and different things like that. You have to learn about the Jim Crow laws and all these other type of things about minority groups, not only with African Americans, but with Hispanics, Mexicans, everyone, Jewish people, white people, Caucasian people. That is part of the curriculum of sociology. It's also part of a curriculum with psychology and all these others as well too. But if it's not part of your curriculum learning it, then it don't need to be a requirement nowhere else. And that's pretty much what they're saying. They trying to fight to make it be a requirement for everywhere, where your children learn about it in a history class, where you got to do a full-fledged course on it. You know what I'm saying? Where they don't have to be a requirement for it. But let's continue, y'all.
Bathroom is what I want to know. I got to see what's happening. That's the divide. Whenever we do to let them in the bathroom, it must be a good credit score in there. See reproductive rights as a...
All right, so that was that clip, right? The next clip that we're going to watch, they are going to dive in about protecting black women. Now, those of y'all who've been following my podcast, right, I did several shows talking about this sensitive topic. There's a notion out there stated that black men do not protect black women. To be honest with you, I can understand the plight behind that, because there are, in fact, certain types of black men who truly do not protect black women. I agree. Certain type of men, certain type of archetypal men who do not protect black women. And I agree with that. But that is not the majority of black men. Okay? A lot of these modern day feminist movement, they want to put all of us black men into this category that we don't protect black women, when that is not true at all. So this next segment is going to talk about that. They're going to talk about the whole concept of why black women feel like black men are not protecting them, okay? And they're going to start kind of diving into reproductive rights as well, too. So let's go ahead. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up.
Important issue.
I think here we all believe that black women will say the planet correct. Yeah. We also believe that, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we come from a black woman, they should have rights to their bodies. We should not be in control of any woman's bodies. And as far as men are concerned, you know, a lot of young men aren't ready to be fathers.
Before he get to this point, let me kind of dial it back just a little bit, y'all. I also said this on this podcast, is that at the end of the day, black men don't care about women's bodies. You know what I'm saying? Black men are not trying to control women's bodies. Okay. But however, me personally, I feel that a black woman needs to exercise emotional intelligence dealing with their bodies. What do I mean by that? You shouldn't allow a man that you're not married to literally sit up here and procreate with you. It is what it is. You shouldn't allow a man to procreate with you without being married to you. You shouldn't be walking around as single mothers. Nor you should be sitting up here walking around trying to smash every dude possible that your way out is getting a Plan B pill or getting an abortion. That's where I draw the line to that. Because if they keep having these abortion clinics and stuff out there where they make it readily available for these women at any given time to just get an instant abortion, then they're never going to learn responsibility of taking care of their body and protecting their body. They're going to use that as a way of a contraceptive and a way out every single time instead of take care of their responsibility. And this not only with the women, but also the men who participate in this are just as accountable as the women. And that is my particular stance on it. Now, the other stuff that they're trying to sell in this election, separate talking about what if it be extreme situations like rape, incest, or, it be a situation where a woman is literally losing her life to giving birth to a child. That is different. That is totally different. So I believe that in that situation where it's totally different, yes, they should have the right to choose what they want to do in that situation. But however, when it's dealing with them being negligent of their own bodies, right? I believe that the state need to have a right to do that so they can regulate that. That's the only way they're going to learn to have responsibility to take care of their bodies. And that's my particular stance on that.
At the end of the day, we come from a black woman. They should have rights to their bodies. We should not be in control of any woman's bodies. And as far as men are concerned, a lot of young men aren't ready to be fathers. And with this happening, it would put them into a place that they're not ready for.
Vic, what do you think? What do you think about that?
Many men I spoke to felt that women's reproductive rights were important to them, but not their top priority. Sure. However, the fact...
No, bro, that is some absolute bullshit.
That's bullshit.
That is. One of the main issues with the fourth wave of the feminist movement was dealing with reproductive rights. Y'all do understand that, right? The first through third waves of the feminist movement was dealing with voting rights and being equal to men or having the same type of opportunities as men have. But when you get into the fourth wave was dealing with reproductive rights for women and the LGBTQ community as well too. So it always been a talking point. It always been an issue with women's reproductive rights, period. So to say that it wasn't prioritized, that is some bullshit. That is a lie. That is not true at all.
remains that maternal mortality rates amongst black women are exponentially higher in states with Republican-led abortion bans. As black men, our primary responsibility in this humanity is to protect black women.
Yes, indeed.
That's why we're here. And I think protecting black women begins and ends with listening to them about what makes them feel safe.
Nah, hell no, that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
No. 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 Nope. Nope, we're not doing that. We're not gonna act like betas tonight.
Beta.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. Like I always say on this podcast about women, period. Not only black women, just women, period. Women biological nature is different from men's biological nature. What do I mean by that? Women always tend to make decisions based on their emotions first, then using logical reasoning after their emotions. But men, on the other hand, always make decisions based on logic first, then the emotions follow behind it. With that being said, part of our responsibility as men of protecting women is this. It's simply for us to help them with the certain choices and decisions that they want to make emotionally. It is our responsibility to protect their decision making. What I mean by that? It is okay for them to express their feelings and emotions about certain situations. But when it comes down to it, we have to, as men, lead them to making logical and sound decisions based on the emotional decisions that they want to make. Period. That is part of us being men. That is part of us protecting. Now, this thing don't have nothing to do with being misogynistic. This thing don't have nothing to do with sitting up here trying to control women and control their thoughts and telling them, no, they can't do a certain thing. If we as men allow women to sit up here and do every little thing based on their emotions, this world will be in freaking chaos. And that is what it is. It is what it is. Imagine us as men. We come up with the whole concept of building a building, right? We said that you need to do this, you need to do that. We draw out some plans, right? We put a presentation together. We go and get the course and the materials to build a building, right? And we use every logical reasoning behind building a building. But here come a woman getting into their feelings. Oh, did you consider that it's going to be hot outside while building the building? Yeah. Well, since it's going to be hot outside building the building, I don't think it's going to be logical for you to build a building. That doesn't make any sense. The building needs to be built. So we can't just use how the way you feeling in that moment to get the job done. That's why it's important. And another thing too, that's why it's important for us as men, not these old baby ass men, not these old simp men who are out there, right? Not these little boys that are out there, right? But actual men to be in our divine place so we could properly lead our women so they could trust us in making the decisions. See, the whole disconnect is dealing with trust issues. It's dealing with trust issues. Yes, it is true that we choose wrong. Men choose certain type of women wrong. Women choose certain type of men wrong. It is what it is. It's what it is. But we need to break that barrier. We need to break that gap to where we're no longer choosing wrong, but we're choosing properly. Where we could properly move forward as men and women. But the only way we're gonna do that, first of all, to be honest with y'all, first of all, it starts off with us as men being in our proper place. That's where it starts off at, with us. So we can't be out here being no fucking betas. Beta. We can't be out here being no goddamn simps and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Being weak. Sit up here saying this crazy shit. What's this dude getting ready to say? Oh, we just got to listen to it. If we listen to them and wherever they say it goes, yeah. Beta. No, that ain't how that work. Make sure y'all get that thumbs up, y'all.
And they
Gasman, salute.
Support.
And salute to each and every last one of y'all who are catching this stream live right now. And also salute to y'all who are catching the replay. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Yes. Let's continue, y'all.
The right to choose what happens with their body. Yeah. A majority of over 75 to 80%. So I think that it's an issue of paramount importance to us and to me.
Yeah, thank you. Like there's this word radical, like it's radical for people to want to have control of their body. But that's the radical thing. But it's not radical for a teenager to bear the child of a rapist. You got your R's messed up. That's just...
See, and once again, they keep on using these extreme examples.
That's bullshit.
They act like a woman is sitting up here getting raped that many times. And I hate to be insensitive about this because I know this reality exists, but they act like every minute, every second, a woman is getting raped by a dude, when that is not true. That is not true at all. And they keep using these other stream talking points to try to convey a message that's saying that, hey, this is the number one reason why women need to have reproductive rights. No man in a right frame of mind is not taking away a woman's reproductive rights. All we are asking for that woman to do is to be responsible for her reproductive rights. That's all we're asking. You cannot hold men accountable for your reproductive right if you don't even hold your own damn self accountable for your reproductive rights. Remember, your argument is your body, your choice, right? That is your number one argument. Your body, your choice. Meaning that you control the access to your body, you control the access to sex. Not us as men, but you as a woman. You control that. So you need to be responsible and you need to hold yourself accountable for these particular situations and all these other extreme stuff that happening. We can deal with that as men. We could deal with these old stupid fuckboy beta male dudes who separate try to rape women and stuff. We could deal with that collectively as a community. Facts. That's no problem. That is no problem. But we are not going to sit up here and bow down and bend to a woman such as Kamala Harris. They're going to sit up here, emasculate us, and tell us we better vote for her. And if we don't vote for her, then we consider us misogynistic. Y'all out of your goddamn mind. No. But let's continue. Salute, Lionel.
Crazy to me, self. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, speak to that.
Yeah, you know, again, this is issue because 45 was president. He put 3 Supreme Court justices on the Supreme Court who raised their hand and said, we would not touch Roe v. Wade. And then what's the first thing they did? They repealed Roe v. Wade.
That is some bullshit. They did not immediately appeal Roe versus Wade.
That's bullshit.
They did not immediately appeal that. They appealed that like way later on in Trump's presidency. All right. And to be honest with y'all, I said it myself on this podcast that I was happy that they appealed Roe versus Wade, to be honest with you. That way it gives the opportunity for the state to decide on these abortion issues instead of federal. And I agreed on it. Still to this day, I agree upon that it should be the state decision to decide on these issues about reproductive rights. But the one thing that I believe it should be federal is this. I honestly believe federally it's the issue with these women sitting up here having this whole hot girl ass summer, thinking that they could use reproductive rights as a way of contraceptions and stuff, where they use it as a way of birth control, where they could just go around and sleep with any dude that they want to, right, and not reap the consequences behind it. I believe that need to be federal, where they need to regulate that. Hey, you going around sleeping with dudes and you think you want to get away with this? No. Keep that baby. Take care of your responsibility.
And it has had a heartbreaking impact on the black community especially, because when you think about the maternal mortality rates of black women doing pregnancy and labor and delivery issues in this state of Georgia, it is 2 to 1, right, Cliff? 2 to 1. And so
2 to 1 to what? What is he talking about?
Oh, it hit close to home for me because Attorney Mike Harper and I represent the family of Amber Thurman.
Oh, wow.
This is a sister who, DL, is the first documented case that we are aware of where the extreme abortion bans actually resulted in a woman in a hospital bed with doctors who could have prevented her death, but because of concerns that they would go to prison, we believe they let her suffer for 20 hours while she was vomiting and passing out and turning colors. And nobody told her family, her mother was there. Nobody told them that we're not going to treat her because we're afraid we might go to jail. And so it affects all of us, especially black men who have daughters. In fact, DL, we have Amber Thurman's father, Andre Thurman, here with us. And he can say how it affects black men more than anybody.
These laws have tremendously affected me. I lost my baby behind them. Let them just sit there for 20 hours, didn't do anything. Well, I can't thank Kamala for keeping her name alive.
Yes.
And doing everything that they doing for us. Thanks.
Hold up, man. Hold up. Once again, my deepest condolences on what happened to his daughter. But I got to say this, man. I got to call it for what it is. I got to call this for what it is. Ben Crump and Kamala Harris had literally paid this dude to come up here and say this old quick bullshit ass speech. Well, what's crazy about it is that the dude literally forgot his lines. He does his mind had drew blank. He was like, God damn, what the hell I supposed to be saying? I know I supposed to be mentioning about my daughter, mentioning about the situation, and I need to throw Kamala Harris in here too. But this dude literally forgot the whole damn speech, fumbled the whole damn bag. Because you could tell by how the way he was presenting the speech that it wasn't authentic at all, period. You could tell. You could tell. So yeah, they literally paid this dude to come up here and said this little full, quick speech. Now, back to address the situation with his daughter. Once again, my condolences on that situation. And I had to agree with Ben Crump on this particular situation because literally, this is exactly what I'm talking about these extreme situations where doctors in a certain state is so afraid to help a woman in a certain stage of pregnancy where it could be life or death. These are one of these many situations where I say that it needs to be federal, where situations like this to where he dealing with the situation with his daughter, right? Situations dealing with rape, situations dealing with incest, different things like that. That need to be federally regulated. And also situations dealing with these women sitting up here having a damn hot girl summer. Them type of situations need to be regulated to where, hey, there are certain type of statutes and limitations that we're going to put into law. And they're going to be across the board, across all the states, period. So what the Congress need to do is to draft up a law stating that it is going to be absolutely okay for these doctors to do the necessary life-threatening work for people, period. And put it in there. And this don't have nothing to do with abortion. Just remove it out of the whole abortion situation, period. Now, the other situation that I'll talk about, make a separate bill, separate law, dealing with that and make that federal as well too. That's all I'm saying.
For keeping her name alive.
Yes.
And doing everything that they doing for us. Thanks.
I was born in 1964. I was the first one of my mother's children born with the full rights of an American citizen. My granddaughter, who was born in Atlanta, Georgia, my second grandchild, she was born in September of last year. She was born with fewer rights than me. It should not be, there have to be things that we agree on. And we can't be a nation that yells freedom when 50% of our population doesn't even have freedom to have autonomy of their own person.
Yeah.
And
Wait a minute. What? The fuck is it? What is he talking about? Hold up, man. Hold up. Let me run that back again.
There have to be things that we agree on. And we can't be a nation that yells freedom when 50% of our population doesn't even have freedom to have autonomy of their own person.
Yeah.
And
what is he talking about?
That's bullshit.
We do have freedom. I don't understand that. I don't understand why they keep on using this old racism talking point as though it's we don't have freedom like we do, like it was back in the day. Back in the day, we absolutely didn't have freedom, man nor woman, blacks and everybody. We did not have no type of freedom whatsoever. But now in this modern day, we got freedom to do whatever the hell we want when we want, and that is fact. So I don't understand why they keep saying this. If that be the case, right? If that be the case, I wouldn't even have freedom to do this podcast. If that be the case, y'all wouldn't have the freedom to watch this podcast. If that be the case, many of y'all would be poor right now instead of having jobs and careers. If we didn't have freedom to do the things that we want to do. So I don't understand why they keep using this constant black talking point as though as we still slaves. Now, I can argue and say that we're slaves to culture. I could argue that point. I could argue and say that we're slaves to corporations. Yeah, we could argue to that because we're absolutely slaves to the corporation. Yes. Absolutely we are. But for us, this whole race thing and stuff right, talking about where we're still slave, we're still bound up and stuff. A lot of stuff is not happening no more. It's very minimal. You'll catch every now and then, you'll catch that one little redneck racist white dude or whatever saying some stuff out of pocket. You'll catch that. But sometimes, even when that situation happens, they'll blow that out of proportion, saying that, oh, see, I told you racism still exists. That's one dude out of a million people who ever said anything. That's that one person or that one Karen that did something that was crazy. So, I mean, I don't understand that at all, period. But let's continue.
And as black men, it is we know what it's like to not own your body. Yeah. Right. Why would we want to do that to somebody else? What I don't understand.
What? How is he relating that to reproductive rights? So basically what DL is saying is that back in the day, our ancestors were sold. We were sold and we was purchased. So how is he equating that to reproductive rights, saying that women don't have rights to their own body when they do?
About what Donald Trump is doing. If Vice President Kamala Harris wasn't saying Amber Nicole Thurman's name, it would be swept under the rug. And so the choice is clear when you're talking about a woman's rights to choose. Who do you think is going to look out for our wives, our daughters, our sisters, our nieces?
Who? The reproductive justice is a black man, a black woman, a black people issue because of the history that you mentioned. For hundreds of years, we were considered chattel in this country, property of other people. Yeah. Right?
Why do they keep trying to relate this back to slavery when they don't have nothing to do with that whatsoever? Now, once again, I could understand if women do not have no rights, period, to their bodies. I will agree with them on that. But women do have rights to their body. The only issue is that it is made a state-by-state issue dealing with abortion. That's the only issue. Nobody is not telling them that women don't have rights to their body or reproductive rights or anything like that. All they're saying is per state issue is that if you want to do a certain abortion thing to your body, if that state don't want it to happen, it's just not going to happen.
Black women were having the children of their rapists, who were the enslavers.
Right.
you know what is also part of America's story? In the 1900s, the sterilization of black women. The sterilization of poor women. Millions of women were denied the right to ever have children because they were poor or because they were considered feeble-minded. And that was state law and federal. It was eugenics, but it was policy. And we are living in a time where people's rights are being taken, that autonomy is being taken, again, in policy, again, in law. And so we have to realize the intersectionality that black women are living with. They're dealing with the pain of being black, right? And also the promise that comes with that, but they're dealing with the pain of being a woman. And also the promise of that, where we, as black men, we do benefit from patriarchy. We men. We benefit from sex. We benefit.
You
and
can stop talking right now. That's enough.
It's all right to tell it. It's all right to tell it. But then
this ain't the Oprah Summit. Stop it.
Before I get to the, listen, before I get to the mountaintop, before I get to the mountaintop, because I'll do it here. Look, what comes with it is our power, and using our power to uplift the voices of those who have been made powerless.
Absolutely. Michael? What is this notion that that's not an issue that is supposed to be top of the ticket, the idea that's important to us? What do you think of that?
How many of us have daughters and sisters?
None of us. We don't got daughters and sisters. Why are you asking a stupid ass question, bro?
Okay.
You see all the bald dudes in here? They got daughters. Wait, I mean...
yeah, exactly. I don't subscribe to the narrative that we are not in support of women's reproductive rights. I just won't subscribe to that. I think it's another narrative that they're trying to put on us to divide us. And I believe that historically, the civil rights movement was accomplished by black men and black women coming together. And I believe that right now, black women and black men are coming together when it comes to reproductive rights. Black men will always stand up for their daughters and their sisters and their mamas. That is a known fact.
Let's listen to what he's saying. We as men, we do not have an issue with reproductive rights. We never had an issue with reproductive rights. It is Kamala and her campaign who has an issue with reproductive rights, but it's an agenda behind that. Kamala and her campaign is making it a big issue than what it really is. They're doing that. And they're doing it for the whole point because they do not like Trump. They're using this whole narrative to sway the women votes into voting for them by creating an emotional triggering issue that never was an issue to begin with. Across the board, through Biden being in the office, through when Trump was in the office, when Obama was in the office for 8 years, reproductive issue never been an issue. Never. It is only an issue now because this particular campaign is making it an issue. And the only reason why black men are having a pushback on it is because they sit up here trying to take away our choice to choose. They're sitting up here saying that if you don't choose for this particular person, which is Kamala, you're considered as misogynistic. And that is the argument. And that's why black men are pushing back on it and say, well, hey, hold up now. We for the reproductive thing and stuff, you know what I'm saying? We're not tripping on that. We believe that your body is your choice, you know what I'm saying? But hey, you got to be responsible for your body. But however, now y'all not gonna sit up here and make us vote for somebody. We're not gonna do that. Because when you're doing that take away the whole concept about equal rights. It is almost as though it becomes a reverse equal rights to where the women sit up here telling the men that if we don't vote a certain way, then we're not equal. We don't deserve to be in that same prison. Hell, Michelle Obama literally encouraged women to leave their households. If their men don't vote for Kamala Harris. That's what she said last night when we reviewed this. So That's the issue that men are having. That's the issue that I personally is having with this. Is that you sit up here and try to convince men that if we don't vote a certain way, we don't vote for this damn woman down here, then there's something wrong with us. No, not at all. Not at all. I do want to acknowledge this real quick before we get into our final talking point and stuff. Salute to everybody that tuned in to the stream as well too. Thank you so much. There is a thing that was just in the end. I catch a lot of stuff that people put into the chat and stuff. Sometimes it get filtered out depending on what they say, but I'm gonna put it up here because I'm all good for it. Now, this gentleman, he said this, appreciate you one for coming in. I'll put your comment up here, right? So you won't feel left out. But this person said, you're the Uncle Tom beta that want Massa back in office. What the hell? I find it interesting that whenever we talking about certain type of issues that be thought-provoking, right? I find it interesting, instead of addressing the talking points, right? Instead of addressing the issue that I'm talking about, right? You want to immediately use ad hominems as your rebuttal. If that is your rebuttal, then damn, wow. Wow. If you have a issue or certain disdain or what I'm talking about, by all means, you're free to comment in the chat and let me know your grievances, just like what everybody else is doing in this chat. It's people in this chat that agree with me. It's people in this chat that disagree with me, and that is fine. I welcome it over here. But the little ad hominem attacks and stuff, yeah, Uncle Tom be better because you're doing this. Come on, chill out. Chill out. That let me know right off the bat that the things that I'm saying is triggering you so much so that you're actually feeling like a beta.
Beta!
Instead of coming back with some strong arguments or talking points. But that's me. But let's continue.
That is a known fact. So if you are one of those individuals who's thinking selfishly about this particular election and you thinking, well, I'm not really feeling this because, there's nothing in it for you. Exactly. Think about your sister. Think about your daughter. Think about your niece. Sometimes it is about us, but oftentimes it's about our community. Right. And all of the women in our community deserve better.
See, that even in the last part of what he said, right, I disagree with that because that goes back to the whole concept of go along to get along. The enemy of my enemy is my friend type of concept, which I don't agree with that at all. I believe that if we say that we are truly a community, right, then we need to be a community for real. They also say this, these men up here, right, all of them say this talking point where they say that, hey, us black people, we're not a monolith. We're not a monolith. We're not a monolith. We're not a monolith. Okay. But at the same time, at the same breath, you want to say, hey, we need to come together as black people. So which one is it? Are we all going to come together as black people, or are we not a monolith? Which one is it? Because we can't be both. We can't both be both for the black community and be a down monolith at the same damn time. It had to be one or the other one. One had to give. It had to be a give and take. Either we're not going to be a monolith, or we're going to actually be part of the black community. We have to make that choice and choose.
Reproductive rights is not your issue. You need to think again. Stay with us. Final thoughts on what's at stake in this election for black men when we come back. Just days away, and I want to allow some of our guests to share their final thoughts and their call to action. So, Brother Crump.
DL, when you think about Project 2025,
I am so sick of them mentioning about this goddamn Project 2025.
Bullshit.
This goddamn memoir. This is also being Kamala's little talking point in it, and the left talking point as well too. Talking about Project 2025.
And the way they have told us what they're going to do to kill the future for our black children, our sister Kamala Harris becoming the president of the United States gives us the best chance for having an equal opportunity.
Well, sure, I can want to debunk that argument real quick by saying Kamala is not your damn sister. She is not your sister. She is not my sister. She is not the black community sister at all. That woman is not even black at all, period. She's not. Woman's Indian. And she claims her heritage. And I don't understand why this haven't sunk into their heads yet about her agenda. And the reason why she loosely used the word black Americans the way that she do. When she used the word black Americans, she's not talking about us. She never was talking about us. When she used the word black Americans, she is talking about Indians. She is talking about the tethered that are out there. That's who she's talking about. That's who she's talking about. It don't have nothing to do with us. Have nothing to do with us, period. But we, as being gullible as we are, we heard the word black American. Oh man, she gotta be talking about us. But y'all see.
The American promise of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Michael Ealy?
I think I want to start off by just saying I think we need to stop trying to romanticize elections. I think we have this expectation that we have to be in love with the candidate. And the reality is we don't.
Listen to what he's saying. Once again, this solidified my talking point about this go along to get along game. Basically what he's saying is this. He's basically telling y'all this. You don't have to like Kamala. Hell, you can hate Kamala. But the enemy of my enemy is my friend. They know good and damn well Kamala record. They know good and damn well that Kamala was sitting up here locking up black men in America and all this stuff there. They know this. They know this without a shadow of doubt. She did some horrific things through her tenure of being a government worker. They know that. But they literally sitting up here once again, you don't have to romanticize. You don't have to like her. Let's get along with her because we hate Trump. That is the most ridiculous bullshit reason to go and vote, period. And I'm just being real with y'all on that. They literally sitting up here encouraging people to do what is known as a hate vote. Go vote for Kamala because you hate Trump. Not go vote for Kamala because you listen to her issues, you listen to her tenure, you listen to the things that she's talking about, right? And you gravitate towards that and you support it. They're not saying that. They literally just say Trump is a racist, hate Trump, vote for Kamala. And you don't have to like Kamala. Just vote. That is ridiculous.
What we have to focus on, gentlemen, right here, right now, is we are facing an election for democracy versus a dictatorship. This is perhaps one of the most fundamentally easy elections to kind of discern which way you want to go. So we have to teach everybody, we have to talk to our relatives, talk to our friends and family about voting down the ballot and making sure that Vice President Kamala Harris has the Congress that she needs.
Listen to what else he is encouraging you to do. Whenever they're using the point about voting down the ballot, this is what they're saying. They're literally saying to vote the straight Democratic ticket. That's what they're telling you to do. They said, forget who it is that's running. Just vote straight Democrat. Forget what they done did in their past to deserve to have a seat as a government official. They're literally saying to vote down the Democratic ticket. Imagine if the Republicans was telling people the same as that thing. Forget that. Vote down the ticket for Republican. Don't vote for the issues. Just vote for just because it's Democratic. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous, and that is stupid. When y'all go and vote, those of y'all who participate in voting, when you go vote, don't listen to these damn clowns telling you that you just should just vote down the ticket without understanding what you're voting for. Make sure before you go out to these polls and stuff, right, you know each and every last representative of your said state who is running. Make sure you know who is running. Make sure you know their policies and what they're standing for a period. And you make that decision to whether or not you want to vote for them or not, regardless if they're Democratic or they're Republican or they're independent or whatever the hell case it may be. You make that decision. Don't fall into these identity type of politics to separate, to try to just vote down a down ticket because your favorite actor is telling you to do it. No, don't do that. And that goes for both parties. Don't do that.
To get legislation passed that's going to give us what we want, that's going to give us the agenda for black men. That's what we have to fight for in this election. So we have to work on that. It's our chance to do that.
Representative Pearson.
Yeah, I mean, look, the time is now. Like, this is it. This is our moment. And generations upon generations of black folk have risen to meet their moment. And this, for black men, is ours. Whether it was W.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington rising to meet their moment, whether it was Frederick Douglass rising to meet his moment, whether it was Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. rising to meet their moment, this is ours. And it is our opportunity to make sure that the future that we want to live in is more possible. And that is why we have to elect Vice President Kamala Harris to the presidency of the United States of America. That's why we have to do this. So this is it. This is our time. This is our moment. Let's win this thing.
Yeah, for sure. Amen. I'm going to be your campaign advisor. That's what I got.
Come on. I need you.
Come on now.
Beta.
I want to make sure we include some of the voices in our audience. Khalil Thompson, what are some of your final thoughts?
So I have an amazing 7-year-old CEO who is my pride and joy. I wonder on Wednesday, November 6th, when she wakes up, I want her to know that this world is still fair, that she still has the opportunity to realize every dream that she has, and it hasn't been diminished. So I ask every brother here, every brother that you have the opportunity when you go into your voting booth, when you vote early, when you do vote by mail or absentee, you are the CEO in this moment. You can either promote or fire any elected official that you want. I believe, as my pastor say, can't tell you who to vote for, I'm telling you who I'm voting for. I'm gonna vote for Vice President Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. But I just need you to go and vote. Participate in this election, be that CEO in that moment, and do your job.
That's it. Want to hear from Quentin James?
Malcolm X told us that the most disrespected, unprotected, and neglected person in this country is a black woman. And we watched Donald Trump call my Howard alum sister, Vice President Kamala Harris, my AKA Divine Nine sister Kamala Harris, a bitch.
Now, when I heard this the first time around last night, I had immediately went and fact-checked that, right? I went and fact-checked that, and to come to find out, that situation isn't entirely true at all, period. So I don't know where this dude got this information from, but like usual, you know, we just go along to get along. You know what I'm saying? Because if it was true, you know, good and damn well, I had did a lot of talking about that for sure. But that is not entirely true at all. Now, he had talked about Kamala, about her ethnicity. Yeah, he been openly about that. He been very open about that. Talking about, I don't know if she's black or Indian or whatever. He been very open about that for real. But for us saying a slur like that, I looked it up. The only article I see is a fictitious article that is out right now talking about that. I don't see no video clips, no video evidence or anything like that where this man literally called her that word.
If that pisses you off, brother, I need you to do one thing. Go to votetolive.org, find out what's on your ballot, where you need to go vote, and actually get a free ride to go vote if you need an Uber to get to the polls. We are providing that for you. Go to votetolive.org. Let's protect our black women and show up to vote.
And of course, I really want to hear from this gentleman, Keith Boykin. What are your final thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, thank you, BET, and thank you, DL, for providing this opportunity for the conversation. And elections are choices. And we have a choice right now. I think this is the clearest choice we've ever seen in a presidential election. On the one hand, we have a man named Donald Trump who has 34 felony convictions, who has a history of racism from the Central Park Five to his black casino workers to being sued for racial discrimination in the 1970s to his lies about Barack Obama's birth certificate to the fact that he was impeached twice and tried to start an insurrection to prevent the peaceful transfer of power. And on the other hand, we have a talented black woman who started her career as a district attorney, became a state attorney general, became a United States senator, and then became...
Who ended up locking up our federal brothers and sisters. Why we're not mentioning that? Why we're not mentioning that she locked up our federal brothers and sisters repeatedly and laughed about it?
The vice president of the United States is the most qualified person in this race, perhaps the most qualified person to run for
Since
president.
we're throwing
because
receipts.
she has experience at the state, local, and federal level. And she also has experience in the judicial branch from working as a prosecutor, and the executive branch from working as the vice president, and the legislative branch from working as a United States senator. Who else has that experience? This is a choice. I just hope. This is a choice. I just hope that we look at these two people and we choose wisely.
Yes. First off, I'd like to thank you, BET, President BET, and everybody else, and all you gentlemen, because I think this was enough.
By the way, this is the new BET right here. BET is not black owned no more. Yep.
I will say this. There is a reason there has never been a female leader of this country. There's a reason there's never been a black female executive of this country. I think because it's very hard. A man gave up power. A white guy, the most powerful man on earth, said, I'm going to give up his power, and I'm going to make sure she has an opportunity to become the first female president of the United States of America. That never has happened before. It is divine presence. It is divine. And it's what we do in this moment, as you said, President Pearson, it is what you said in this moment. It is what we do now that we will judge by. So thank you all very much. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. A shout out to the Black Economic Alliance for their research, for their special. The conversation continues on BET.com and BET Social. Thank you guys. Thank you all so much.
All right, so this is the end of this particular Black Summit show. Just like I said, I only took out certain clips of the show, not the whole entire show. If you want to watch the whole entire live, by all means, go into BET YouTube channel and just post it there for your viewing pleasure. Now, let me give y'all my final thoughts about all this. Let me give y'all my final thoughts about all this. Like I said before, and I'm going to say again, I am totally and absolutely against identity politics, period. I am absolutely against when people try to manipulate other people to vote for a certain type of said party. I'm against that, period. I believe that all of us have the right to choose who we want to vote for without being manipulated, without being tormented, without being ridiculed, emasculated. Because we have the right to choose. We do. We have the right to choose to either vote for someone, and we have a God-given right to choose to not even vote at all. That is our right. So whatever you choose to do, that is totally up to you. As an American citizen, whoever you choose to vote for, that is totally up to you as an American citizen. But don't allow these politicians to sit up here and manipulate your mind into who you should vote for. Make sure you get all the facts about both candidates. Find out about their policy. Find out things that aligns with you. You find out about things that aligns with you and your particular lifestyle. If you're cool with that, by all means, go vote for them, period. I ain't tripping about that. Go ahead, vote. Whoever else you want to vote for. And don't allow people to sit up here and do certain things to you because you don't want to vote for a certain said party. Just like I say, there are people out here right now on Facebook. There are families out here right now that are getting divided because of these goddamn politicians, and they're using this old goddamn identity politics to divide people. Just so they can win. And I want y'all to think about that, so they can win, not you can win, because you're not winning the goddamn thing. All you're doing is a pawn participating in the game. In fact, that is what we all are, is the simple pawns participated in the game. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. That's all that we are. So don't allow these people to sit up here and manipulate your mind to think that, oh, I should do this, or use fear tactics that you should do this or you should do that, and sit up here and talk down on people who vote the opposite against you. Now, on this show, in this space, we don't talk about people over here. We talk about issues that's going on. We address certain issues that go on here, but we don't literally sit up here and emasculate people. We don't put people down. Just like with Kamala Harris and stuff. At the end of the day, I don't have no problem with Kamala Harris other than her identity politics, other than how the way she's campaigning. I have an issue with it. Just the same thing with Donald Trump. When I did shows about Donald Trump and he was doing certain things, I addressed it. Sure did. So it doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, I don't have no personal issue or personal beef against any one of these politicians other than what they putting out there. And all I'm doing on this show is simply exposing them for what they're doing and allowing you the opportunity to choose. I'm not telling you who you should vote for. Nor should you be doing the same as that thing, sitting up here trying to tell people who they should vote for. If you want to vote for a certain candidate, knock yourself out, vote for them. Because you have that right to do that. You have the right to choose. But don't be sitting up here trying to impede other people's rights as well too. Since you want to vote for the certain candidate, you want to impede on other people's rights, except for talking about, well, you crazy. Well, you're being misogynistic. Well, you sit up here being a simple. You're doing this, you're doing that. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Because you don't want the same person to do the same as that thing to you. And I believe in karma as well too. Because what goes around comes around. The same type of energy that you put out on people, guaranteed that it's going to come back on you way worse. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all sitting up here being radical as hell that literally ended your relationships over this stuff, right? And now you sitting up here trying to figure stuff out. All because of the choices that you make. But other than that, y'all, that is all I have for this particular episode. Once again, I appreciate everyone who is tuning in to this stream right now live, and also appreciate everyone who is going to catch the replay or is watching this replay. Appreciate y'all a whole lot. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all a whole lot. Appreciate everyone who are live right now catching the chat. Brian Evans, I see you in the chat. Appreciate you a whole lot for participating in the chat. Scorpio, I see you. Who else was here? Shy as well too. Appreciate you as well too. Everyone else who participated in this chat. Appreciate you a whole lot. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Other than that, y'all have a great night. Make sure you tune in to tomorrow night where we'll be doing our celebration live of my moderator, Scorpio Mama. So make sure y'all have y'all notifications set. We're going to do this thing for real, y'all. Y'all have a great night. And Brian says that he said y'all have a good evening and go vote. And I agree with him on that. If you want to go vote, by all means, go vote. And last but not least, if you're not sub up to this channel, what are you waiting for? Sub up to this channel right now so you can get all this thought-provoking content. And as you see, we welcome everybody over here, regardless if you agree with my talking points or not. So what are you waiting for?